Hey there, it's your boy Foxy, back for more relationship stories. My brother and sister-in-law think I'm a free babysitting service. I'm blocking them and dropping them off at his job. Original post. My brother is 27, I'm his little brother by 4 years, and we have kids the same age. When my son is with his mother, they expect me to watch their 2 kids, for free. It's always can I do a simple thing for them, like take them to an appointment, pick them up from school. My cutoff time is 6 p.m. nightly, but every day is an excuse. Oh, I wanted to stay over time, I needed a drink, well I decided to go shopping. It's gotten to the point I don't even ask to see my nephews anymore, because I don't want to be suckered into giving up my whole night. I can't even get help getting my son picked up. If they do watch him, it's for a bit, and it's an excuse and I have to go get him as soon as possible. I've told them I'm fed up. They want all this help, then cry when no one wants to watch the kids because they take advantage. His wife's side of the family won't even help. When brother was in jail, I helped her and kept the kids for her because she'd work crazy hours. Today I took my oldest nephew shopping for some shoes at 3 p.m. His birthday was last week and he received a lot of money. It took about 30 minutes and he wanted to stop and get his brother some food. I get to their home, no one is there. I'm calling their mom and dad, over 40 calls and no one is answering. Being a responsible adult, I didn't leave him there alone. It's now 9 p.m. where I'm from, and they want to argue about not getting the kids. My dad said I should just suck it up, that it's family and I know they do this. My mom says to cut it off and refuse to help. When I called my brother's job, they said he's there and hasn't even asked to leave. So, I'm planning to drop them off at the hotel he works at and leave. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Text mom and dad and tell them that if they aren't home within the hour, you're calling the cops and reporting the children abandoned. Then don't answer their texts and calls. They'll either turn up, send someone else, or blow you off. If they blow you off, call the cops. No playing around. Even texting the parents, the threat of calling CPS should be enough. Tell your father to babysit if that's what family does. If that's what family does for each other, is it something he does for family? Or does he only expect you to do it for family? If it's the latter, tell him to pound sand and get off of his butt and watch his grandchildren. It's good to have family you can count on, but it's a two-way street. You are being counted on, while never able to count on them. I'm trying to refrain from flat-out saying your brother is a piece of trash who married a similar variety, because that's not really helpful. He is used to manipulating and taking advantage of people who love him to benefit himself. His wife may have been decent, but checked out after having it done to her for too long. Or maybe she has always been like him. You can opt out of having a relationship with the adults, but I beg you not to lose the relationship you have with the kids. They are old enough to see what's going on, and you are possibly the only responsible adult in their personal lives. The only one showing them how to be a decent human being. They are going to have mad issues later because they see you get angry at their parents and they are the reason why. It's not their fault, but they are the reason from what they can discern. Please go over the top reminding them that you love them, even if they occasionally behave unlovable, even if you have to do things they will see as unloving, in their naive viewpoint. Their time with you might be the only time they feel valued. I have been in your shoes. One weekend I agreed to babysit my sister's 1-year-old, so she and her husband could go off and party. Take a break and visit friends, she said. As I was driving their 13-year-old to Saturday detention and asking him what led to it, it dawned on me that it's not normal to not give a damn when your kid is struggling and getting in trouble in school. He was going off the rails and his parents were just not there. Didn't care. When same sister was 17 and I was 12, she frequently tricked me into babysitting her baby, the aforementioned 13-year-old, while she ran to the store with her boyfriend. She would often be gone for hours. My situation changed when I moved far, far away from our home turf, and she found other people to manipulate, but I never regret any of the hours or days I parented her kids for her. And now for the update. Me and my wife share this account, and I didn't realize this blew up so much. Thank you all for the advice. Around 10:30, I decided to drive around to the sister-in-law's favorite bars. I found her and let the bouncer know her kids were outside. She came out 2 minutes later, screaming that I'm ruining her night. She was drunk off her butt already. A 6'4" guy who looked Native American comes behind her asking if she had a problem, then says he happy to finally meet her kids. I'm confused that he thought I was her ex-husband. So turns out she has been cheating, no shocker honestly. So I drove them all to my brother's job, drunk wife and kids, and made her tell him she's been cheating since he was in jail. Left his wife at his job, and drove the kids to my dad who lived 4 hours away. Then charged him for gas money for the drive. This morning I connected a watch line on my account for my eldest nephew and told him this is for emergencies if you need me. I won't abandon the kids, but I blocked his parents. Next story. Am I wrong for scolding my sister in front of everyone while she is going through a divorce? Original post. Myself 29 female and my husband 36 male went to visit both our parents. They live 8 hours away from us by flight and it was expensive, but we do it because holidays mean a lot and also to see my niece Rue, 5 female. She is my world and I love her to death. For this vacation, her mom, my twin sister Mila, was missing for most of our family gatherings and was spending time with her boyfriend and doing part-time job. We have a good relationship, but was really worried that Rue doesn't get time with her mom and angry that she just leaves her with all of us. She leaves in the morning and comes home late, and apparently this has been going on for months. For a brief context, she is separated from brother-in-law and she wants a divorce while he wants to try. But she came back home because they were not compatible and it's messy. So since she is a single mother, I send her allowance for her and Rue, and also for other housing expenses directly to her, so she can give our parents rent and focus on Rue, and have a smooth divorce. I send her a total of $10,000 in my fund money account which she has access to and uses. She sees a therapist and I get charged for this as well. Additionally, my husband pays for her divorce lawyers. We both work hard and are not rich but we are good enough. I know it's not easy what she is going through, and have never questioned her when there are withdrawals. But this holiday, I was so mad at how she is and who she is turning into. According to Mum, Rue is missing her mum and has withdrawn so much. She has not been giving them rent, and not helping around the house, and doesn't even take care of Rue. Mom works and Dad looks after Rue until Mom comes. They are also old and cannot really actively interact with her. Then my mum says she's upset with me for not helping Mila out financially, as they are also struggling with 4 mouths to feed. I have never been angry as I was then. I observed her for a week, and the second week I confronted her privately. She said being a single mom is hard, and she is distressing. I called BS and told her what she has been doing with the money, that I'm glad she is working part-time. But what is she doing with Rue when she is comfortable? And even more angry that none of the money I give is going towards Rue or helping with her. She stormed out of the room and said I am ruining the holidays and being judgmental when she is going through so much. I told her how dare she say that after I give her everything, even when I don't have money left to buy new clothes for Christmas because I thought it was worth it. And that if she doesn't stop and focus on Rue, then the money stops. I was so mad I forgot everyone could hear us. All our parents heard it. I felt so awful for exposing all this, but I was so mad. She called me a jerk, and so did my brother, saying I should have picked a different time. Now that I'm calm, I feel I am an idiot for exposing her like that. Vacation has been awkward since. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Not wrong. But OP, stop the money now and give it to your parents instead. You gave that money to her in good faith that she would use it for her daughter, but she hasn't. You didn't ruin the holidays, she did, with her greed. She asked for the money, and I agreed until she gets back on her feet. The others we paid because she is my sister after all. But I am so scared she might spiral if we took the money away from her, even more than she is now. The codependency is strong in this one. Therapy you need. In all seriousness, you are not responsible for her misbehavior, and in fact, you may be simply prolonging the inevitable. She needs to fall on her butt sooner rather than later, so she can pick herself up and fix the mess that is her life. It's not your job nor responsibility, despite how much you love and care for her. She's taking advantage of everyone's good nature and their empathy to her situation that she got herself into. There's never a good time to address matters like this. You forced an opportunity, and that's absolutely okay. It's not just about her, it's also about you. You have given her too much already to continue being a heel. Congratulations for standing up to her and calling her out. Yes, it is. Also, we were too busy to communicate and check up on what was really going on, because we need to earn enough to enjoy the holidays, right? And now it's just such a circus. A part of me still believes I may be responsible for her behavior by not really checking on her, but she has been taking advantage and lying too. If we didn't address it, then we never would have done it any other time where everyone was in the same place, face to face. Thank you for giving me some strength because I was feeling like crap. Not wrong, but the gravy train stops now. Where is she spending it then, if she doesn't help with rent, which I presume should be the bulk? Your sister is an a-hole, an entitled moocher a-hole. I only know what she spends when she withdraws from my account. The other $10K I don't know and have never asked. Rent is only for utilities and food, the rest for them both to just be as comfortable as they were before. I am just so confused and don't know if I played a part in this. Now for the first update. Thank you for each and every one of you for your perspectives. My family and Mila and the brother-in-law are meeting today for dinner and a discussion afterwards. I have asked Mila to speak to me before brother-in-law comes, so she has a chance to tell the truth. Waiting for her to come at the moment. Since there's so much going on, I will update you all once things settle down. Thank you all for giving me courage and words, so speak up and for clarity. Regardless of whether I am an idiot or not, I reinforced her behavior without actually finding out what's going on. For those asking why I gave her access, because we are close and she is my blood, and I had no reason to doubt her until all of this came to light. Maybe I was manipulated all along and seeing a different side to her, or more likely she is spiraling after the divorce and separation. This also has not been confirmed, and I am this close to losing it too. But thank you all for your kind words and advice. Second and full update. Thank you for everyone who personally reached out to me and gave me some strength and resolve, and all of you for your inputs. You guys deserve an update, but you guys also need to know some information I couldn't put due to character limit. My sister and I are non-identical twins. She had the beauty while I had the brains, but we grew up equal and loved each other and were loved very much. But I was always the responsible one, and due to me being more academic, I was able to get a good job and do my master's. This same period about 5 years ago, my sister got married and had Rue, but because I was busy with clinical placements and thesis, I couldn't spend much time with her nor visit, hence my guilt. She used to say that her husband was mentally mistreating her and possessive, and restricted her from going out and having fun, and it was easier me to suggest marriage counseling for them, and over time both of them said they are getting better, but she wasn't as happy being married. She had a fantasy in her head about marriage and kids, and it wasn't as easy as she thought. So she turned to different coping mechanisms, like clubbing and overspending, which we didn't know, and her soon-to-be ex didn't tell us. My reasons where I choose the easier path was because I was also trying to cope with me not having kids yet, though we are trying, and my thesis and working hours as clinical psychologist was also overwhelming. I believe she knew exactly what she was doing and manipulated us all by showing compliance, and then when she had her chance, she left her husband. I'll get into this soon. What has actually happened was she had been overspending, and brother-in-law had to pick up the slack at home, and the part-time nanny, female 47, became full-time housekeeper. The nanny's daughter, female 25, used to come to babysit Rue, and they bonded fast, and so did brother-in-law with Rue, but he maintained his distance with the new sitter. Mila grew to resent that Rue wasn't as clingy with her as before, and started to distance even more, and then started coming home late. Marriage counseling had stopped by this time due to both brother-in-law and sis not having time. Then brother-in-law had seen flirt messages from a guy on Mila's Snapchat, and he told her to leave the house. She did, but with Mila, while he was at work. She had also left him a message saying she knows about him and the sitter, and will let it all come out soon. Brother-in-law decided that he didn't want to continue the marriage and spoke to lawyers, and while they were preparing the documents, she was with my parents. He used to meet her outside every weekend where Mila dropped Rue at the park and picked her in the evening, but she wanted to show us all that he never cared, so didn't mention these and had told Rue not to say a word, which Rue confirmed. Anyway, court dates have been given, and we are discussing custody and visitation between our lawyers, and Mila broke down and said she needs help. She will be going to do intense therapy with a colleague I recommended, and then brother-in-law says we can discuss partial custody. I, in the meantime, am seeing my therapist as well. I have also agreed with my sister that she will not be receiving any allowance. She has applied for a part-time job now and will be contributing to the rent. I, however, will be sending my parents an allowance because I want my mom to retire. And for Rue, her dad will be taking care of her expenses. Brother-in-law is also going to sponsor Mila's therapy sessions, since he believes and feels he had a part to play in her spiraling as well, but they both agreed to divorce since it was toxic. I still believe Mila can work it out after she does some therapy, but that's just my opinion, and I am going to see how she changes. I am sorry this is not nicely or neatly written, but my head is a mess, and I am writing whatever I can recall. Thank in advance for all of you and your strength. Info: so was your brother-in-law actually cheating? There was no emotional affair or anything inappropriate according to brother-in-law, but Mila showed me screenshots of them messaging with smileys about when brother-in-law needs to pick up Rue, and I think this was okay, and she used it to manipulate us. She still insisted that it felt wrong because he never sent her smileys, and I agree with this, but I thought both brother-in-law and Mila could have communicated their insecurities with a good marriage counselor, and can still work it out. Hope this makes sense. I have also agreed with my sister that she will not be receiving an allowance. So, people don't need to reach an agreement with people like Mila when it comes to cutting off funding, especially when it's been shown that she's been lying. I am also very outraged and offended on OP's behalf. That was some ugly snideness from Mila about OP taking the easier path of getting her master's. Right. I have never pursued any advanced degrees, but I know people who have. To call graduate school the easy path is utterly insane. I have a friend who is currently in grad school who has literally called me in tears over his workload. She is blood. I love how people use this to justify allowing someone to take advantage of them. They always state it like it makes them better people. I'm a big believer that ultimately you choose your family. The idea of blood being the end-all be-all of relationships is distasteful to me.